what I will do is I will create the far field and symmetry, and then actually first I'll scale this geometry to 1,000 times, and then I'll create the symmetry and the far field, and then I'll go ahead from there. Okay, so similar for scaling up. So scale x factor, y factor, z factor, 1,000, apply. Okay, and now I will create the surface, same create standard geometry, standard shapes. So I will actually reduce this hemisphere radius so that it is easier to mesh. Okay, so I've made it half of it so that the size also reduces. Okay, and you guys can who are having problems with resources in your laptops, you can this will take considerably less time. Okay, so I've changed the radius from 50,000 to 25,000. First it was okay, and then create another surface from this option, simple surface, 2 to 4 curves. Then okay, create a part named as partial, uh, and it is as I've already mentioned, it is important that you select the respective curves also, curves points, so that afterwards there's no issue. Okay. Field. I choose anything over here. It's not gone over there. No. Okay. I'll switch this off. And then this also I'll switch off. We have this as symmetry. Okay. Symmetry. So I've created the far field and symmetry in the initial step itself. Okay, and then I will separate the parts for the wing. Okay, so in this way it will be easier. So what I will do is I'll create a part named as, actually first I will have to split it to get the leading edge and trailing edge. But before that I will have to cut this section out of the symmetry part. So that I will do using build topology, repair geometry. In that we have this option named build diagnostic topology. Specify the tolerance to some 1 millimeter and apply. So you'll have this thing here. Okay, you can. It has created this, taking the surface out of here. Mm, mm, Also, I'll also show you how to take the appropriate sizing for each of the parts. Okay, so that we can have a visual confirmation of how good your mesh surface mesh will be. Okay, so as I stated before, first you have to make sure that your surface mesh, especially on 3D, it is good, and then you can go for the volume meshing. So I will create uh, 2 partitions for the leading edge part. So to do that, we have to create a curve using the surface parameter. So this is the upper surface. Undo. So here, last time, if you remember, I've used the parameter as 0.1, I mean 0.25. Here I'm using 0.15 since I just to optimize the cell count near the leading edge, and this will be this surface. Also, regarding the offline session, I will not be coming to the office because on Friday. Okay, so someone else who's actually working there will take it for you. But that you'll have to confirm with Muni sir. Okay, so that's about the offline part. So now I will
Bro, we thought of coming tomorrow.
tomorrow. Then you'll have to inform Muni sir then because I won't be there. I'm in someplace else actually. Okay,
Okay, bro.
okay. And this also by tomorrow. I mean afternoon. You guys can. I mean make this mission send.
Bro,
I
you are
guess
facing the paraview problem, bro. Facing Mac counter
Mac contour.
is generating.
Okay, okay. I'll come to that. First, I'll just take this. I mean, the first half will be ISM CFD, and then I'll take you through Paraview also.
Okay.
Okay. Where was I? Okay. So I've created this two curves on the upper and lower surfaces. So now I'll just split them and add them to uh, another part. So splitting can be done in this option, create modify curves, and then segment or trim surface using a curve method by curve. Select this surface. Set this curve, this surface, and this. So we have created two segments. This is one, and this another. So now we'll add this to leading edge. So create part, leading edge, this surface, nope, this surface, this curve, and
Bro, how will you able to pan the wing when you are selecting the object? I mean, like selecting the part.
okay. So the mouse action is as normal as you do it, middle mouse and all. But when you're in the selecting in the yeah, you have to press the control button. Right. Edge and add this also to the leading edge. So that this is okay. So I'll add the entire thing. So you can see that is gone now. Okay, so the leading edge part. Now I will join this trailing edge also to the upper and lower surfaces so that the sizing we can give as copy to both of them and it will come out as a proper mesh also. So I'll make another part, wing body, and then switch off the leading edge. And before that, I'll sorry, not the root, the tip. So I will select the tip and then I'll hide it so that it doesn't interfere with the wing body. So the wing body, this I will select this entire geometry. So I will add it to wing body. So anyway, this part will get deleted anyway. So you guys don't have to worry about this. Okay. So now we have this. We have the leading edge. We have the tip and the wing body itself. So now I'll have to join these two surfaces because this is one individual surface and this is one individual surface. So to do that, we can go to create or modify surface. In that, we have an option called merge surfaces. So I will use that. The 1, surface 2, and it'll show you a dialog box like this. So just press, just say yes. Now that you have a full single surface for all purposes. Then here also same in a similar fashion. First, second. So now we have this entire thing here. Okay, so now we have from the starting we have imported the geometry, and then we have created the far field and symmetry, and then we have split the wing into the leading edge, the tip, and the wing body itself. So now we can go ahead and delete these two parts actually. So if you see, there is nothing visible either in points, surfaces, or curves. So we can just go ahead and delete this. Delete. So leading edge, symmetry, leading edge, tip, and wing body. Okay. Now I can delete this surface using the delete surface, and bye. Just check whether it has created delete the entire surface. Okay, it has. Fine. Now the next part will be the giving the sizing. So where is it? Symmetry. Okay. So we have the wing here. Okay. So first is the global mesh setting, global mesh setup. So scale factor will be 1.0. Maximum element will be 2.5. This is default except for the last two options. So keep this to maximum. Try harder at improvement level and apply. And next will be the volume meshing parameters. So in this, I mean, previously we all left this as it is, right? The default values. But now to get a better quality mesh, we have to change this edge criterion. So what this will do is, so especially in configurations like this, where you have a sharp trailing edge, what ISM will try to, what is this? There is a cut. Okay, I'll repair that. Okay, so what ISM will try to do is, as it approaches this, as the mesh surface mesh approaches this trailing edge, ISM will try to divide the bigger elements that it has created into smaller elements, so that it can capture this geometry properly. So sometimes doing that, it multiplies the size of the triangular elements with this factor, the edge criterion factor. So the default value is 0.2. So what it will do is it will divide until the ratio between the smallest element over here and the largest element, I mean smallest element in the trailing edge to the biggest element in the actual wing body is 0.2. So we end up with those ugly looking gaps in the mesh. So to avoid that, we can decrease this edge criterion factor to zero point zero 0.01. So what this will do is it will further divide the bigger elements to match the to capture the geometry properly. Okay, so and also here smooth iterations you can give to maximum 20. Okay, and apply. So we actually have a problem here. This thing, there is a gap. I do not know why this has happened. So what I will do is I will try to merge this gap using build to repair geometry. So close holes, remove holes, stitch match edges. So I'll just try applying to only this part. That is only the selection is. So you can so to avoid visually selecting, and then maybe you will have some parts on here, and then if you try to select the entire thing, the even the entities from the part that you don't want to select also comes on. So what you can do to avoid that, what you can do is you can select it from this dialog box here, select items in a part. So here depending on the part name and color, it will give you the part names. So I just want to apply this build topology to symmetry. So I will uh, select symmetry and then press accept, and then I'll press apply. So it didn't do anything. So you see, this is bad. This is not what you're supposed to get. Okay, so what I will do is I will delete this, delete part, where is delete part? Okay, here, and I will create another. What is that called? Surface here. Yes. Oh, okay, okay. Um, I'll just delete the surface then. Delete surface. The surface. Okay. Now we will create a surface from 2 to 4 curves. These two curves, and then we have this. Then now we'll try to apply build topology again. This is all parts. Then apply. Okay, let's see if we can delete this surface. No. Okay, so sometimes this happens. So what you guys can do is, so it is, I mean, it is good practice to save whatever progress you've made. Here, I've done this before and saved it. So I'll just close this project and then open the one which I've already done. So open project. This. Okay, so this is with the finished meshing. So I'll just show you what and all I've used. So in global mesh size, I've given scale factor as 1.0 and global element seed size is 5,000. And shell meshing, whatever default values you've used. And this should be 3. Okay, this should be 3. And then volume meshing parameters, tetra mixed, and robust octane, and then edge criterion as 0.01, and I'll increase this number of iterations to 20. Apply. This also apply, and this also apply. Okay, and then in the part size, we will give. I mean, for far field, I've given 5,000, and for leading edge, I have given 50. For you guys can note this down if you can't see it properly.
Repeat it, bro.
Okay. Okay. Can I repeat them?
Yeah, bro. Repeat it.
Okay. So far field is 5,000,
Yeah.
and then leading edge is 50,
Okay.
and symmetry is also 5,000, and then tip is 5, and wing body is 50. And I've kept everything else as 0 itself, so that ISM can adjust to whatever size it wants. But let's even see what happens. Okay, so I've given everything half of what is given here, 2.5 and then 25. Apply, and so now I will just delete everything and then show you. It'll actually take very less time. So that's a considerable advantage for you guys. Okay, so I've set the volume meshing, shell meshing, global mesh setup, finish setting part. Okay, now I can just compute the mesh. Okay, so in this you don't have to compute the surface mesh. Okay, like Gurmalesh had done, you can just directly go to computing the volume mesh. So that'll, it's by default will create the surface mesh properly, and then we create the volume meshing. So I'll just press compute, then replace. Okay. So you guys can see it, right? The mesh is already done. So it's computed the mesh. So if I were to switch to this, so you guys can see that it has created a pretty good mesh on the surface here in both the surface, upper and lower surfaces. But the quality is very bad over here. So you can see this big jump between the elements, and this is gone only. And here in the tip also there are some imperfections in the mesh. So you guys can vary the sizing to get the proper curvature. Okay, to properly get, I mean, to properly see that, what you can do is, so subsets. So in the geometry option for curves, if you right click on the curve, you get this dialog box, right? So here there is an option to show the curve node spacing. So if I switch that on, you can see how the nodes are being distributed on the curves. Can you see that? There are small plus signs that have come up on the curves.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
You can see that, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
this will give you a proper approximation of how to actually give the sizing. So here the sizing is not that appropriate, especially over here. So you guys can see only there are only four nodes here. This is because of smoothing and all, it has taken it properly. But to get a better approximation, you can switch this on. And then as you will give the part mesh parameters, that will also, the sizing also will change. For example, in tip, I've given 5. So if I were to give 1 and apply, so you can see that it has actually, see, it's become more finer. And if I give even smaller values like 0.5, it will go even smaller. In similar fashion here also, where I've given 50 for the leading edge. If I were to give only 10, like, so you guys can see that it has taken it properly. I mean, this is appropriate to capture the surface properly. And here also, this I'll increase to 5. And if for the wing body also, I'll give some 10 only, that it can properly take it. Okay, so now you can get an approximate, I mean, get a idea of how how good you are dividing the domain into using this option. Okay, so if I were to delete the elements and the shell meshing and recompute, compute. Yes, this will take a little more time because uh, I have given smaller sizings. Okay. What are your dinner times usually? I mean, am I taking up that time, or is it okay?
Yeah, fine, bro. Nothing. No problem.
It's fine, right?
Yeah, fine.
Others,
Fine,
Gurmadesh.
bro. It's okay, bro.
Okay, okay. Because I'll have to take for another till 9 o'clock, so that I'll do the para review also. Okay, uh, this is taking time. So in the meantime, you guys can. Only Mahesh has sent the screenshots in the group. What about others? He's done the streamlines and the cell data to point data. He's done the slicing, the glyphs, and he's gotten the mark controls also. What about others?
Yeah, bro. For Naka 640, we have done like we have all done, sir. So and we were trying for this onera. We'll post it online.
Okay, okay. Uh, Others? Guru Malesh, Nihal, Sandeep, Manoj, Sachin. You guys, you didn't post it in the group.
Yeah, bro, I'll post it.
Okay, okay, sure. Yeah, so this is a good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I just saw your message here. That is actually good. The surface machine. It is a little fine. I mean, there are too many elements, but you've captured the geometry well, I think. So that's good. Okay, Sachin, I saw that. This is also good. Okay.
Mac counters, bro. It is not getting after CAS computers applying.
After applying also, it is not coming. So you guys, you
Yes.
have to give the values. No, have you given
Values
the value?
also. Yes, default is given.
No, 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 not default. You have to give. You have to specify some values for the uh, filter so that it will give you the proper result.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll show
Okay.
you. I'll do a recap. Okay, so this
Oh,
has finished computing. Oh my god. Okay, so here there is some problem with the meshing. I think that is my fault. But in other places, you can see that here where there were some missing elements, you can see that it has now properly captured the curvature of the leading edge. And also at the back, you can see that the trailing edge also has been properly captured. So this is an okay mesh for now. So you guys can try this out and let me know how it goes in the group. Okay. This is okay. Can repair this. Okay. So this is it for right now for ISM CFD, and you guys can after this will be the Prism generation. So you guys have to do it till this stage, till tomorrow evening. Okay. Is that fine?
Yeah, bro. Fine.
Okay. So now I'll go into Paraview. So save project. So you guys all did it, right? Only Sachin has a doubt, no? You guys were all able to do it in Paraview, no? Only Sachin had a doubt, right?
Yes, bro. Yes,
Okay,
bro.
okay. So we'll do that first. Huh? Okay. Okay, which file was that?